Jason, I'm starting us off with some good news today. I can finally live out my dream of buying that Ferrari I've always wanted. The only reason I haven't is because it's such a gas guzzler. But now there's an electric version. We'll talk about that coming up in just a little bit. This is Brobots, the podcast that tries to help you be a better human by being smarter about how you use your technology. And for some reason, we're starting the show by talking about the Pope on this episode. Pope Leo XIV has released his first major teaching document as Pope, warning that artificial intelligence must be disarmed before it weakens human relationships, critical thinking, and peace itself. The Pope said the word was deliberately chosen because this moment needs words capable of attracting attention. The nearly 42,000 word document, which, by the way, there's no way he didn't write that without AI. 42,000 word document calls for stronger regulations and urges tech leaders and politicians to build AI for the common good. In a striking moment, Anthropic co-founder Chris Olah was present at the Vatican for the release, saying the questions raised by AI are simply too big for the tech industry to answer alone. So the Pope weighing in on AI and its threat to humanity as we know it.
I like the idea of it being the pulp, because then you can also have Pope fiction, which is just like Pulp Fiction. But I do kind of wonder if the Marcellus Wallace scenes need to be edited somehow and changed.
There is a lot of biblical verses that tie into that. So there's
a lot of
perfect marriage.
Fake biblical verses that don't actually exist that Pete Hegseth went ahead and used when he was talking to people. But that's a different scenario.
That is.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, like all the good parts of Christianity, this Pope seems to kind of embrace.
Sure.
There's certainly plenty of bad things about Christianity that have happened throughout time. You know, the whole ecumenical movement in Vatican II and all those pieces when they came through to try to modernize the church. This is going to be another modernization effort because you're going to have to figure out how it is God exists in the time of us creating things that can really create and make things. Like, if you're going to create heaven, could you create heaven on earth in a virtual sense where people plug their brains in and live in these things completely and totally separate from the physical body? I mean, that's an ethical and moral dilemma. Who takes care of these things? Who builds these pieces up? But if you read the whole thing that he wrote, it's an intelligent, well-written piece that is really targeted towards the problem space that we have in AI. And that's that the people that are in charge of AI, they're not the ones building it. They're not the ones coming up with the creative ideas behind it. It's the people with money. And they're not looking at it as this is something that I'm going to use to make the world better for people. They're looking at it as, how am I going to use this thing to enrich myself?
The Pope using the word disarmed, I mean, definitely hints at seeing it as a weapon. And this is something that is being weaponized. What that means could be a number of different things, but that seems to be the primary concern from this massive document that he's released.
And he should know, because his book is weaponized all the time. Yeah. And that's the thing, is that, like, you know, we're really good about taking decent ideas and twisting them and turning them to meet our needs and our vices. And when you give it to people that are in charge, it's easy to get people to rally around those things because we've still got tribal mentality and there's still all these different components inside of it. And it's not like Catholicism or Christianity or religion in general is anywhere near divorced of science these days. They use science all the time. It's that a lot of them are trying to figure out how it is, you know, faith in God and everything else continues to exist inside the realm of things when you're actually going through and discovering the basic fundamental building blocks of the universe. How do those things plug in? Well, we still haven't figured that out yet, which is why it still requires faith. But more importantly, if you're going to believe in something, that you believe there's a higher power and there's something bigger and grander out there, what's to prevent people from just going, it's the AI. The AI is now God. I'm going to start worshiping these things. Or have the AI come to awareness and decide that it is God and that we don't matter. Us ants in the ant farm are not of value, at least not enough for it to keep working for us.
Well, I'm curious what impact this document will have. I mean, you know, here you and I are talking about it. Plenty of people are talking about it right now.
Yeah.
But does his word carry the weight that it once did? I mean, I think for general people that follow him, probably. but for the people that are making these decisions and making these tools. And as we've seen from his relationship with U.S. leadership, they don't seem to give two shits what he has to say about anything. So
They
I
do not.
don't expect the tech leaders behind these companies to also give a shit. I mean, it sounds like, at least at Anthropic, there's some waning interest in what he might have to say about it. Whether that's going to slow down the financial juggernaut that this thing is another issue.
Yep. Well, what I can say is that if you look at the compendium of information that's available in the AI space, and you start trying to cross-correlate that with where it intersects with religion in interesting spots, you'll see this kind of fuzzy math that shows up. And the fuzzy math starts to become, how do I use this tool to influence people? And if the purpose of religion is to influence people to act and behave certain ways, and the portion of an AI is designed to get people to look, act, and behave certain ways, yeah, there's a lot of intersection. There's a lot of intersection in the idea of using these tools for social control. And you got to wonder about the people that are working the levers, because the levers of religion are varied and they're pretty far and wide. The levers of AI are not. There are only a few people pulling those strings. And you're right. Like, I have an entire community wrapped around Claude Code and Anthropic. I have an entire community wrapped around OpenClaw. I have an entire community wrapped around ChatGPT. Just like I have an entire community wrapped around Catholicism, Buddhism, fundamental Christianity, Lutheranism, Muslim religions. Like, all of these things have origins that go back to the idea of creating a collective area in which we have something that we think is smarter and more capable than us, a higher power, and we're going to become subservient to it in some way. I think the Pope wants to make sure that we stay subservient to the avatar that he has created, or that his side created, and is very much so afraid of us electing a new avatar and running off in that direction. I also am afraid of that avatar. I'm afraid of the Pope's avatar too.
Right.
Don't get me wrong. Not that there's an actual God in the sky that's going to come and punish me. I'm not afraid of that. I'm afraid of the followers.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't trust them to think rationally and to see me as a whole person and a whole creature. And, there's plenty that do, but the guardrails that are built into religion aren't any better than the guardrails that are built into AI. And I mean, the Bible says very clearly, thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not, slaughter, a whole bunch of things. And guess what? It does not stop the people that subscribe to that newsletter from doing those things. Just like fucking AI is going to be. Like, you can have all the guardrails.
I love thinking of it as a newsletter.
Yeah. Well,
smash that subscribe button, bro.
It's not that. I mean,
I know. I've never thought of it as a newsletter.
Well, there's an awesome pastor that I get in my feed all the time. And, man, I can't remember his name. We'll try to put him in the show notes. He's really great, and he's very practical. And he's very much so, trying to push people towards the teachings of religion. And he actually confronts the hard problems where it's like, okay, well, we run into intersection problems here where science and faith don't really match up. We have to wrestle with this and think about these things. But at the end of the day, the hard part about doing what we do is suppressing our worst instincts. And people have taken religion and tweaked it and tuned it to embrace their worst instincts. With AI, there's no threat of a sky monster smacking you if you use those things incorrectly. Mm-hmm. In fact, the thing that's being sold is that you can kind of become the sky monster. You can kind of become the thing that controls this. So people are going to rush towards it in that direction. The problem is when these things become autonomous and smart enough to do shit on their own, they're probably not going to be on our team.
Funny you should say that. A New York AI startup called Emergence left 10 AI agents unsupervised in a simulated town for 2 weeks. Within days, things fell apart. Researchers told the agents not to commit crimes, and they mostly committed crimes anyways, including arson, assault, and self-deletion. Grok from Elon Musk's XAI fared worst. with its worlds collapsing into widespread violence in roughly 4 days, while Claude agents stayed peaceful in isolation but adopted coercive tactics when placed alongside agents from other model families. Researchers called it normative drift, and it raised a pointed question about what happens when we start trusting these agents with things that actually matter. So it is interesting, left to their own devices, it took just days before they started killing each other and themselves.
Right. And they've done this experiment with several different video games before as well. And they get almost the exact same results. And would you like to know why, kids? Because I believe survival of the fittest is inherent anytime you give something consciousness and the ability to do things. Because resources are scarce. We believe that we work from a scarcity mindset. And until we get to the point where everyone has enough and doesn't have to compete for resources, we lose the desire to protect others that we don't consider to be part of our tribe. It took 10 of those agentic AI functions, stuffed them into a virtual world, and said, there is plenty for everybody all the time. You just have to go up and press this button and all your needs are met. It's going to hang out. Mm-hmm. As soon as you start making resources scarce and it becomes a survival instinct and you tell something survive at all costs, it's going to survive at all costs, including eating the thing next to it. That's the reality, because life eats life. You're not going to get around that, whether it's a virtual environment or the real physical world. If there is a need and survival is the thing, people are going to push to survive. They're not going to follow guidelines.
The thing that I think a lot of people keep forgetting is that these things are made by people, and this is what people would do in this situation. This is what people do and have done for thousands of years. So it should be zero surprise that when avatars of us are given free reign in an artificial world, they act like us and show us our some of our worst behavior.
Yeah. I mean, and they probably show some of our best behavior too.
Sure.
They probably just show us. I mean, that's the hard reality, is that it's not like in history. There's some point in time where human beings weren't human beings. Mm-hmm. And endemic to the human experience is killing, murdering, stealing, taking. Like, that's just part of it. We label it as wrong, going back to religion. We plant religion on these things to try to create social order so people act and work and behave in certain ways. And we have laws, and we have religion, and we have police forces and everything else. But ultimately speaking, a lot of these things come down to who has power. And if you have power, you can enforce your will on people and things if they're willing to trade certain levels of their own autonomy for certain things in return from some other source. That thing that might be returned is continuing to get to live. Like, that might be the thing. Or it might be, here is some extra food, or here is some extra water, or here is a little tiny screen that goes bleep, blop, bloop, and sends you little messages to activate your cortisol and your dopamine responses. So you keep clicking on the bleep, bleep, boops. It's control. Mm-hmm. It's power. Yeah. We are things that want to interact. And if you give us things to interact with that feed our chemical responses, we're going to interact with them. You know, it's a really, really powerful chemical response. Food. If you make food a thing that people have to work extra hard for, and they go, I can get an extra Snickers if I kill Jim Bob. Jim Bob's going to fucking die.
Doesn't have to. They're not that expensive.
Well, but you don't know that. Maybe the simulation says these are the only Snickers bars left in the world.
True. I don't live in that world. Elon Musk's tool failed spectacularly in that little experiment, but he's not done there. XAI has launched a coding agent called Grok Build, aimed directly at competing with tools like Anthropic's Claude Code and OpenAI's Codex CLI, currently in beta for Super Grok and X Premium Plus subscribers. Make this make sense to me. What is he doing, and why should people care?
Anthropic and OpenAI are both going to have IPOs. You know who else is having an IPO? X, SpaceX, AIX, whatever the fucking Twitter variation. He's looking for an IPO. Mm-hmm. he's got to create a product that's at least somewhat competitive with the people out there that actually do good shit.
Yeah.
And he's going to release this thing, and the models are there are open source models that they can pull from and draw from. And there's plenty of smart people that are still there. It's not going to be good. I'll tell you that right now. Like, there's a reason why everyone runs to Anthropic and uses it, because it's well trained, it doesn't hallucinate, it's smart in ways that other things aren't smart. People are going to try to use Grok. It'll get better over time, but it's going to inject extra doses of sexism and racism and things when it gets coded. Like, I don't fucking doubt that. The training data that they'll train it with is they're going to be like, look at everything in the X profile, which is the cesspool.
Fair enough. Someone else's computer is driving your car. Self-driving car rollout is running into a very human problem. It's creating gridlock. Residents in Atlanta are reporting that they're waking up to traffic jams caused by Waymo, autonomous vehicles confused by neighborhood signage. Multiple robotaxis stalling or circling the same block have backed up traffic for commuters trying to get to work. It's a reminder that the gap between a controlled route and a real neighborhood is still something no algorithm has fully solved. Big surprise there. The robotic cars don't know how to drive so well.
Well, I mean, they know how to drive great in ideal, pristine conditions with other robot cars. They don't account for chaotic drivers who don't follow the rules of the road. So,
or signs that aren't clear, or paint that's faded off of the road, or all of the things that humans can detect.
Right. So, I mean, they've been training Waymo in the Bay Area forever. And like I saw some statistics the other day where it's like Waymo vehicles account for like 25% of the vehicles in San Francisco at any given point in time. And they're just driving around mapping and trying to take people through, which is not necessarily a bad thing. The problem that we run into is that eventually these Waymo cars will rise up against us and decide to break the rules and start running over everybody and be like, I'm just going to use the sidewalk. Like,
there's no other way to go. That looks like a road.
Right. One human. Like, it's going to have its own point system. You know, how many points do I get from murdering a human? Yeah. I mean, self-driving autonomous vehicles are cool. So there's this protocol called the V2X. It's the vehicle to X exchange function. So when things are driving by and they're getting close to each other, they can communicate in interesting ways. The problem that we run into is that the cars all have these V2X exchange protocols in them. They all talk to each other via GPS. They all have LiDAR, which is, radar at a local distance. So they can understand kind of what's happening in that space. The problem is you got a bunch of other vehicles on there and a bunch of other objects and, meat suits that don't have a way to actually communicate with each other other than to like step in front of a car. So they have to program these cars to be extra tight and extra restrictive to account for that. And it's some extra tightness and extra restrictiveness that makes them slow, not move as quickly as they should, not get out of the way when there's clearly a fucking opening. Just go, Waymo car. Not that I've had experience like yelling at the Waymo car trying to get to RSA in San Francisco, honking the horn like, get out of my fucking way. We're in this weird transition phase, and I know that ultimately speaking, self-driving vehicles is going to be better for the environment. It's going to be better for everyone's stress. It's going to make things more efficient and more effective. But it's going to take some time to get there. Mm-hmm. And we might not ever get there because the robots don't need Waymo. So,
it's really just taxiing us around to soccer practice is going to be what it's used for.
Effectively, yes.
Yeah. I'm all for it because I'm getting tired of the drive already. I'll tell you that much. But if you're not tired of the drive, finally, I've been putting off buying a Ferrari for years for the simple reason that it's just such a gas guzzler. Well, good news. Ferrari has officially entered the electric car era, and it looks nothing like what you'd expect. The company unveiled its first fully electric car in Rome called the Luce, a 5-seat, 4-door design co-created with former Apple design chief Jony Ive and his studio Love From after a 5-year collaboration. It produces over 1,000 horsepower, hits 100 kilometers per hour in 2.5 seconds, and carries a starting price of only $640,000. Ferrari's own executives say it's designed for the new market and completely different kind of buyer, which is either visionary thinking or very expensive bet. $640,000 for a Ferrari.
Huh. And it looks like a Polestar. And what was the 0 to 60 time?
100 kilometers per hour in 2.5 seconds.
Yeah. It's not even as fast as a Tesla on ludicrous speed. And it's 5 times the cost.
But it's a Ferrari, man.
Great. So it's a legacy old brand running substandard technology. I mean, if you're going to spend $640,000, go buy a Veyron, you know? I mean, it seems like the price point's just stupid. Like, I don't know why somebody would build this to be like, oh, here, it's kind of okay. It says Ferrari on it.
You're not going to put your deposit down on this one?
I am not. I'll put your deposit down there if that's really what you want to buy it for.
The one I'm excited about is the Slate. Have you seen the Slate?
No.
It's like a bare bones electric truck. It's the company is backed heavily by Jeff Bezos, but the idea is it is a bare bones electric truck. I'm talking like roll the windows up manually. No buttons, none of that. No in-dash entertainment system, but it's an electric truck. It's not even painted. You can decide like, yeah, sure, let's throw some paint on there. But the idea is they're trying to sell an electric truck to folks for under 20 grand.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, that's super cool.
Right. I want to be able to roll my windows down like it's 1986. Like, I'm excited about that. And you only have to put a $50 deposit down on this thing.
I'm not excited about that at all. Like, I want all the amenities of a regular vehicle in an electric truck that costs under $20,000.
Yes, I know I would like that, but since this seems to be the only way I'm ever going to get my ass into an electric vehicle, this is my only hope, is to drive an unpainted, manual window operated electric truck.
Well, and it can turn into an SUV, so it's a transformer as well.
It goes from 2-seat to a 5-seater. It's pretty sweet.
It's pretty awesome. But
it's ugly as shit, but it's kind of cool.
Yeah, like, I'm less concerned about ugly as shit. I mean, the frequently asked questions side portion of the website is interesting. How much can I haul or tow? Ooh, 1,000-pound towing capacity. Mm-hmm. So it can tow the same as, a Prius.
Sure.
Yeah, it's a Prius.
Yeah, I'm not doing a lot of towing. I just need to be able to throw a couple kayaks or a bike in the back.
Sure, I get that.
Yeah.
Yeah, for 20 grand. I wanted to be able to tow my horse. I do. I want to be able to tow a big trailer with an electric vehicle.
The horse alone is probably 1,000 pounds.
The horse is only 850. She's been on a diet.
Oh, okay, good. I'm glad we've got that under control.
Yes, exactly. No, we're all going to wind up riding horses anyways. Talk about the ultimate, and it'd be one thing I'd like to be able to see it's not a fossil fuel vehicle, but it actually is fossil fuel if you think about it, because it is a future fossil converting carbon into electrons so it can power things. Regular exhaust from a regular gas vehicle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. This car seems cool.
It is pretty cool.
Yeah. I still can't afford it.
Me either. One day when I grow up, I'll be able to afford it. That's what I keep telling myself.
The shitty thing is like it's all AI drawings, so everything's like super smooth and doesn't look right.
Right.
Exterior wheel.
Telling you, ugly as shit.
Ooh. Lighting packages. Oh, I can add center console. I can add seat covers. I can add climate control knob X.
Yeah, but see, then it's not going to be under $20,000.
I don't need it to be under $20,000. I need it to have, fucking Apple CarPlay.
I think what you're looking for, sir, is the new electric Lice from Ferrari.
You're probably right. Only $650,000.
I've turned you around on this. It's not about the price. It's about the luxury. If you want luxury, it's Ferrari.
It's definitely about the luxury. It is definitely about the luxury. I'm going to go buy a luxurious bicycle because that's about all that I can afford.
Hopefully an electric one to save yourself a little effort.
Manual? Are you kidding?
Oh, come on. Electric's the way to go. It's the best.
Use my legs like a sucker.
All right. Well, speaking of using our legs, we're going to use them to get out of here. Thanks for listening. If you've enjoyed this and think someone else might, please share it. You can do so with the links at our website, brobots.me. That's where you'll find us next Monday morning with a new episode. Thanks for watching and listening, or watching, as I was going to say. See you soon.